Hello, fellow city cash handlers. Today, you will be receiving training on the city's cash handling policy. We have over 20 departments within the city that accept cash transactions. As such, we are all guardians of the city funds. Pretty important, right? Cash handling, it is your job. Whether you take in lots of money or you collect pennies, it's all important and must be accounted for. So, let's get started learning. Cash handling controls. There are 5 principles of good cash handling processes: segregation of duties, security, reconciliation, management review, and documentation. What is included in cash handling, you might ask? It's not just cash. It includes your coin, currency, checks, money orders, credit, and debit cards. Today, we will focus on cash and checks only. First, let's talk about risks and controls. Who and what are at risk? Both you and the money are at risk. You may ask yourself, why? In the cash collection process, you are just as important as the cash. The controls that we will discuss are designed to protect both you and the cash you are handling. Risks that you and the cash may face are: cash could be lost or stolen, bank statement or revenue report doesn't agree with the departmental records, no audit trail or proper documentation, finger pointing and accusations or suspicion, and lost revenue. To avoid these risks, a plan to collect cash should be in place. However, if you don't have a plan in place, here are a few tips for developing a plan. Is a change fund needed? Note that your change fund is not the same as your petty cash. So if you are going to make change, then you need a change fund. To get authorization, you'll need to contact the treasurer and the CFO. A department may have several change drawers at a single location, but each drawer should be assigned to only one employee. For example, in the treasurer's office, we each have a cash drawer for a total of 5 drawers. Each employee is responsible for their own cash drawer. The change drawer should be balanced each and every day. Never, ever use the change fund for making purchases, cashing checks, giving loans or travel advances, making change for personal use, or any other non-city transaction. 4 basic steps to cash handling process are: accepting the payment, preparing the deposit and sending it to the bank, reconciling the deposits, reporting outages. Upon taking a payment, you will want to verify the payment for legitimacy and accuracy. Things to look for on a check are: the date. If the check is dated more than 30 days in the past, it should not be accepted. If the check has a date in the future, it is considered post-dated and should not be accepted. Checks should be payable to Carson City and the applicable department. For example, Carson City Treasurer or Carson City Parks, etc. Be diligent in checking the numeric amount against the written legal amount to be sure they are the same. If they differ, then the legal written amount is the amount to process the check for. Be sure the check is signed. Check the bottom to make sure the bank insignia is there. Check for the routing number and the account number on the bottom of the check as well. Upon receiving a check, it should be endorsed immediately and entered when the customer is at your counter, and the customer should receive a receipt. When a customer hands you cash, be sure to count and verify the currency. If it is over $1,000, get a second employee to verify the money, and then use your counterfeit PIN on any bills, 50 or 100, to check for authenticity. Place the currency in the view of yourself and the customer. Enter the payment into your cashiering program. Count back the change out loud to the customer and give them a receipt. When the transaction is complete, you will then put the cash into your cash drawer and lock the drawer. Your cash key must be kept in your sole custody and should never be shared with anyone or left in your drawer. Listed here are some common ways for you to spot a counterfeit bill. The easiest way, of course, is to use your counterfeit detection pin. There is starch in the paper of real money, and therefore, when using the pin on a real bill, it will turn yellow. However, if the bill is fake, it will turn dark brown or black. If by chance a bill tests positive as counterfeit, you do not want to put yourself in danger. Do not pass the bill back to the passer. Delay the passer with some excuse, but no need to lunge or hold them captive. Have your supervisor call sheriff, dispatch, to inform the police that you just took in suspicious currency. Observe the passer's description, get their license plate or their ID or something, and do not handle the bill. Put it in a plastic bag or an envelope. Remember, if you are passed a counterfeit bill, you own it. So when accepting cash, it pays to be knowledgeable about the crime of the counterfeiting. Next, we will discuss how to process payments that are received in the mail. One person should open the mail and immediately and restrictively endorse each check and post the checks into the cashiering system as soon as possible. Checks intended for other departments should be forwarded either by interoffice or by hand. Do not send cash through the interoffice mail system. It must be hand-delivered to the treasurer's office and verified in dual control. If you have monies that you cannot identify what department it might belong to, then give the treasurer's office a call. So, the monies have been collected and posted to the customer's account. Now what? You want to secure, balance, deposit, reconcile. Securing the cash. Only one person shall have access to the cash drawer during any one shift. The cash drawer and receipts are balanced at the end of each shift. All cash collections must be placed in a sealed, numbered bank deposit bag immediately upon balancing. This bag, then locked in your cash drawer or locked in the vault, can't be moved. You may want to consider installing a contact alarm that will alert you when the drawer is opened. You may even consider installing a camera to observe the safe and the cash drawers. The vault or safe should be located where it is continually visible to department employees. Access should be limited to supervisory and authorized personnel. The lock or the combo should be changed every 2 years or when a key employee leaves the department. Balance your money in your cash drawer. Once all payments from the day are removed, the ending cash balance should be back to your starting total. Keep an adding machine tape in the drawer from prior day's balancing in case of any outages. You will be able to backtrack the prior day's cash inventory. Be prepared as the treasurer's office will be implementing surprise cash counts starting fiscal year 17-18. So you counted your cash drawer and it doesn't balance. All cash drawers outages must be reported to the cash over and short accounts in your departmental revenue report. If a customer gives you too much money within a $5 threshold, a journal entry is allowed as miscellaneous revenue. It is not cost effective to bill or refund outages under $5. Deposits should be done by someone other than the person who collected the cash. Deposits should be made every day that money is collected in excess of $300 and not less than once per week. Deposit slips are to be clearly and accurately written. The cash and checks are then attached to the deposit slip. Complete the bank log sheet with the bank bag number and the amount of the deposit written on it. The completed deposit is then put in the clear banking bag and sealed. Transportation of the deposits should be done by the city banking courier. He is bonded, insured, and carrying a weapon. Cash reconciliation must be performed by a person with no cash handling responsibilities. Reconcile receipts to the departmental financial reports on a bi-monthly basis to verify the processing or recording of all transactions. Maintain proof of these reconciliations with the signature of the preparer and the supervisor or manager of the department. Segregation of duties is the most important control and the most difficult to manage. If you don't think you have enough staff to segregate the duties, then it is important that mitigating controls, such as increased monitoring or a detailed supervisory review, be put in place. The department can write up modification plans to existing cash handling policy with explanation of the alternative procedures and the corresponding controls to be implemented. Present the request for modification to the treasurer for review and approval. Carson City's policy is a general guideline of cash handling procedures. Each department must develop its own supplemental procedures to address their unique needs. Departmental management must ensure that each person handling cash or funds in their department receives training during the first quarter of their cash handling assignments. Refresher training is required every 2 years for all staff with cash handling responsibilities. I hope you've enjoyed the training video and learned some valuable cash handling procedures. Thank you.